Okay, first of all, I would love to pay homage to Triple James and pay respect to all most venerable Sanghas and respect to uh, all the most venerable monk who come to watch and follow our Facebook Live from Monk Chat right now. Okay, dear all the teachers here, dear Ajahn Steve, dear Assistant Professor Dr. Samran Khansamrong. Uh, I feel very honored and I'm today with Venerable Somboon to run this monk chat. And this is a special episode, special time for us to get together here, also with our teachers to uh, talk something about uh, the passing away of the most venerable or master Thich Nhat Hanh, okay, who is one of the most famous um, Buddhist monk. So today we get together here to make as a memorial to our beloved teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh. All right, so I would love to inform to all the viewers who jump into our Facebook Live right now. Would you please share or like or comments to talk with us during we sharing something in between the live streaming. All right, okay. So I would love to let every speakers introduce yourself. Okay, start from Venerable Somboon. Yes, would you please start first?
Good evening, everyone from Thailand. I am Somboon, and I am a volunteer monk at Monk Chat, and actually I've been involved with Monk Chat's life for years, and today is another episode and another special live that we're going to have a discussion. And normally we have a Monk Chat live on Saturday, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a very
Yes.
special day, and it's a special call actually. So I'm very happy to be here for today
Okay.
sharing. Thank you, person.
Okay. Very nice. Yes, please. Ajahn Steve, would you please introduce
Oh,
yourself?
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Venerable Prason. It's so nice to be here. Good evening, people in Thailand. Good morning for people in the United States. I'm Steve Epstein, and I've been teaching monks at the Buddhist University for about 17 years now, and I've been a follower of Thich Nhat Hanh for over 20 years.
Mm,
And I
wow.
had the a pleasure of visiting Prason at a temple that Thich Nhat Hanh had once lived in. So it's a delight to
Yes.
be here, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Very nice. Okay. Yes, Dr. Samran. Uh, can you unmute your mic, your microphone, please?
First of all, I'd like to say and pay
Okay.
respect to the Venerable Sonethavy and Venerable Somboon. Uh, that's the host of Manchat program or Manchat Live now. And I like to say that I'm really glad now to meet now Dan Steve now on Facebook Live now. So actually, we haven't much chance to meet. Okay, to talk. Actually, I love. Okay, I like his smiling face now because when I see Dan Steve's smiling face, I think of. The most valuable did not hunt, okay, because
Oh.
he's very famous. He's very well known about smiling. Okay, smiling show what?
Mm.
Smiling show peaceful in your mind, right? Now, that to be peaceful in your mind. Okay, that I think is it's is matched to our topic today. Okay, that's the everyone. Okay, everyone is smiling. Okay, first I'd like to
Good,
introduce
good.
myself
Thank
a
you
little
so
bit.
much.
Okay. I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. My
Mm.
name is Samran. Okay, Khansamrong. I have been teaching at the Mahachulalongkorn University or Buddhist University for over 20 years now. So for my experience now, teachings now, uh, yeah, mostly I teach about the language now, and we share knowledge with the Buddhist uh, monk students and Buddhist lay students, okay, about Buddhism too. So I think that today the topics now is quite interesting now. It's quite interesting to talk about the most venerable Thich Nhat Hanh because he is the very very valuable, okay, very valuable person, okay, and I think maybe he's one of the most famous monks who sacrifice, right? Who sacrifice or he or who devoted his life now as the Buddhist representative about mindfulness, about the peace. I think that is I think it's value to talk about this his about the most valuable Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Samran, to introduce such uh, w- a wonderful intro, make us have the atmosphere in our panel discussion today. Let me make greeting to some of viewers, some of our followers. Now we got Joy. I thought he's a monk. Joy Wong Kam Chan. I thought he Lao monk. And yes, uh, some Facebook users come to comments our live stream. So would you please uh, give some comments to have an interaction with our speakers? Yeah, can you write something to make greeting or share some your thoughts, or you are the graduates from our Buddhist universities? Oh, hello, good morning from California, Monica. Wow, this is the morning time. John Steve, you was there for 2 years, right? During
Yes,
COVID.
my COVID
Yes.
vacation.
Okay, thank you, Monica, for greeting from California. It's the morning
Mhm.
time. In Thailand
Yeah.
right now is um, 8, right? 7, 7:51, right? Okay, so our topic, we just concerned to the passing away of the most venerable, the master Thich Nhat Hanh, which is he passed away last month. Okay, 22nd January 2022 uh, at midnight. Okay, 000. So means uh, emptiness. We can means that zero it's emptiness. Uh-huh. So um, the whole world, also feel deepest, show the deepest condolence to the passing away of the master Thich Nhat Hanh, because he is one of the most valued Buddhist monk who lead uh, people, young people, and keep spreading the idea of social Buddhist engagement, how to bring the teachings of the Buddha to solve the fully problems, which is one of the interesting concept that the whole world are interested in to learn, to investigate. All right, so in order to mark, in order to mark and have a meaningful after he's passing away, and how can we learn from his experience, his teachings, especially I would love to go to Ajahn Steve, who have been experienced meditation of uh, Master Thich Nhat Hanh, and also the Pram Village style. Yeah, so that's why I love you to share your experience that you have get uh, uh, to practice sharing. How do you get to learn, get to know about this style of the Thich Nhat Hanh? Yes.
Thank you so much, Prasan. I'd like to maybe talk a little bit about my own experience as a practicing Buddhist. I have been practicing Buddhism since my 20s. I'm 70 now, and I was practicing Buddhism since I was in college. And I have gone to retreats with Tibetan Buddhists, Japanese Zen, Vipassana Theravada monks in Laos, in Nepal, back in the States. And in 2001, I had to return to the United States to take care of my parents. I should say I had the wonderful opportunity to return to the States and take care of my parents in 2001.
Okay.
And I had
Mm-hmm.
a background in Buddhism, but I felt that I never really understood it or understood the practice. And in 2001, in September, we all know September of 2001, during that time, I was on a 5-day retreat while I was taking care of two parents who were dying, and very good friends of mine uh, came to the house and said, "Steve, go on a retreat. Thich Nhat Hanh is in town. Please take this opportunity," because I wasn't doing well emotionally. And I was with two people who were dying, and I wasn't really with them. I was just taking them to hospitals, doctor appointments, counting out pills, and I was having a very difficult time. But the worst part of it was I never felt I was really with my parents. I was just going through what had to be done. I was very depressed and irritable and a little angry and just not doing well. And my friends sent me on this retreat, and 5 days with Thich Nhat Hanh. And the first thing you notice when you're this retreat was it was at the University of California in San Diego, in like the student auditorium. And when you walked in there, Thich Nhat Hanh came. I'd never seen him before in person, and the first thing you notice is he is just so modest and at ease and peaceful. And there's at the altar, there's no
Mm-hmm.
Buddhas. There's just flowers. That's it. It's very simple. Uh, doesn't have a lot of pomp and circumstance. And later I asked somebody, "Where's the Buddha?" And they said, "We're trying to just keep this uh, as secular as possible, because we know there are many people here who simply aren't Buddhists, and it's their first opportunity to practice. And we don't want anything standing in the way of their practice, like having Buddhas on altars, because as we know, anybody can have a Buddhist practice. You don't need to be Buddhist." So it was a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful retreat. And in this retreat, I I knew the Buddhist teachings before. I had them up in my head, and I understood in the head way about Buddhist practice, but I did not understand in the heart way. And that to me was the difference, and that's why I have been a follower of Thich Nhat Hanh, because I realized that intellectually, and teaching at the Buddhist University, intellectually, um, I understood these practices. I knew what was going on, but I never really felt them. And so many things I'd heard about, I never really understood. For example, the truth of if this, then that. I understood what that meant up here, but I did not understand what that meant here. And it's this very special style of practice in Plum Village with Thich Nhat Hanh that talks about our interconnection with all things, with all beings, and with all people. The practice is not just for me alone. It's just my own
Mm-hmm.
personal
Mm-hmm.
chance to try to attain enlightenment. It's that we are really, truly all in this together, and me being happy and you being happy allows me to be happy. Your suffering is my suffering, and this deep truth of interconnectedness is something that is so profound and so true, and this
Mm-hmm.
connection of all of us. And this is what I felt so strongly in these retreats and has really guided my own view of Buddhism so far. Thank you so much.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Thank you very much. Such a wonderful sharing that you have been to have an experience directly through, you know, the retreat that run by the Palm Village and were teach by the Thich Nhat Hanh. So uh, that's wonderful experience. Uh, right.
Um,
So these our viewers, who used to be the MCU students. So his name is Jantra Thang. Hello, Ajahn Steve and Ajahn Samran, and they are two venerable from ex MCU student. Thank you
nice
so
to
much
see
for
you.
uh,
Mm.
joining us. And okay, I'm sorry, my internet connection is it's weak, so it's delay. I'm sorry. Okay. Next, I would love to let Ajahn Samran. Okay, would you please share how do you get to know and how do you get to learn from Master Thich Nhat Hanh? Did you start from reading his book, or so? Which book that is your first uh, that you have an experience that uh,
Mm.
enter to learn the teaching of Thich Nhat Hanh?
Yeah. First, frankly, okay, I'd like to say that I am not like the real followers, like Ajahn Steve, because Ajahn Steve, he had a chance, okay, he had a chance to meet the most venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, and he had a chance, okay, to learn maybe his teaching. And yeah, Ajahn Steve, he is the right person that you invite him to as the panelist today now. And well, when you invited me to share my ideas or any experience about the most valuable Thich Nhat Hanh, I just like yeah, really I'd like to say that I just study. Okay, I just study about his work, and maybe from many social medias or many from many channels, and maybe some books too. And actually, according to his teaching, yeah, I love his teachings. Because his teaching is simple. Okay, it's simple. It's not difficult. Okay, to understand. And as I have studied about his history or his background, I also really impressed about that too, because I think maybe his life now uh, maybe is uh, similar to the other people life, as maybe that is similar to the Buddha life too. Like you know that his life started with, okay, his life before he became, okay, before he became a very famous person, okay, a well-known person. He faced, okay, he faced many problems, or maybe I'd like to say that before you will be a strong person, right? You will be before you be strong person, you will experience, right? You experience some problems now, like the Buddha. The Buddha also, okay, before that he attained enlightenment, he has. Uh, a lot of problems, but his problem may be different from us, okay, because his problem, he asks himself, or he asked to find out the answer, okay, why the problems about why will be born, okay, and our being born, okay, full of suffering, right, suffering. So I think this kind of problems, that if we have problem, we will try to find out the way or the solution. Like the most valuable Thich Nhat Hanh too. Okay, because he was born in 1926. Yeah, allow that. Okay, 1926, and you know that about when he was 7 or 8 years old. Okay, at that time, he saw, okay, he saw the Buddha, he saw the Buddha picture, right, in magazine, right. And when we see the picture,
Mm-hmm.
okay, when we see the picture, maybe you don't maybe you don't have any feeling, okay, but the picture of the Lord Buddha, the picture of the Lord Buddha impressed him, because when he see the picture, the Buddha, he was sitting on like on glass. He just said like that. Okay, the Buddha was sitting on glass, and with the smiling face. Okay, with smiling face, and like a peaceful mind. Okay, I think maybe he never seen, okay, he never seen the person, such a person like this. And after that, okay, this maybe this started his thinking, okay, to become a monk. Okay, so I think the like I would like to, okay, I think the before, okay, before we find out the solution, okay, for our problem, okay, we have a problem, we face a problem. uh Thich Nhat Hanh, okay, Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, okay, he became a novice when he was 16 years old, right? 16 years old. But why? Okay, I think what drive him, okay, what drove him to be uh, like a very famous person like this, I think because of the problem, right, because of the problem in his country, right, in his country. As you know that about 1960, okay, about 1960, at that time in Vietnam, right, they have like a civil war, right. And Thich Nhat Hanh, okay, Thich Nhat Hanh, I think he was one of the key person, right, one of the key person uh, who try, okay, who try to use the non-violent ways, okay, to the government at that time. Okay, and after that, okay, after that, I just remember that about maybe in 1990, 1965, about that. Okay, uh, he 1995, 1965, 66. Okay, he was exiled, right, to the other country, and he couldn't come back to Vietnam again, right. and luckily he had a chance. Okay, he had a chance to meet the president, right, of United States, right, Ruther, right, Steve, Ruther,
Martin
right.
Luther King.
Oh, Ruther King. All right, Ruther King. Okay, and after that, okay, his life uh, changed a lot. Okay, I think in this way. Okay, I think in this way, uh, he learned. Okay, he had a lot of experience in the other country, and he become the center. Okay, he become the center of like the symbol or the center for mindfulness. Okay, for mindfulness or for non-violence. Yeah, I think when I learned about this, okay, I'm really impressed. Okay, I'm really impressed for his teaching. Okay, especially his teaching about the here and now. Okay, so here and now, actually, when we learn about the Buddha teachings, so we just learn like it's like a difficult, right? They're difficult to understand, difficult to learn the Buddha teaching, but his teaching just okay. You just learn about here and now, okay, here and now, about mindfulness, okay. Yeah, I think maybe I like to talk it more. Maybe Ajahn Steve, because you learned you know him a lot. Maybe you can add some more information.
Hmm.
Oh, that's so key. I think uh, when to me, Thich Nhat Hanh's most significant contribution to Buddhism today is that he's
Hmm.
taken complicated, um, difficult Buddhist texts and he's able to present them in ways that people can really understand and use in their everyday life. So this ability to actually make present things rather than make them more difficult, he makes them easy. He made them easy to understand and available to people, and most important, available in the here and now. And just saying, when we practice, we're practicing in the now. We're practicing for our ancestors and we're practicing for our descendants. And the practice is happening here and now. And right now, you hear people in the West know about Eckhart Tolle, who talked a lot about that, the power of now. And of course, when you read Eckhart Tolle, you go, "Oh, this is plum. This is Thich Nhat Hanh. He's just taken no, no." This is not to say anything wrong about Eckhart Tolle, but this whole view about looking at things, what's happening here and now, and that view is so key in importance to happiness. Thich Nhat Hanh often says, um, "In this moment, this is a wonderful moment, and we cannot recapture this moment. In the past is gone, the future is yet to come. Here we are in the present. What's happening here and now?" And that's so key to understanding of Buddhism and key to understanding what causes our suffering is not being in that here and now. Our suffering, thinking about dwelling upon the past and worrying about the future. It's staying in this present
Mhm.
moment. Ooh.
Very
Well,
nice.
Thank,
Okay.
thank you very much,
Thank you for
John
both.
Steve. So I've heard about Palm
Uh,
Village actually. I think John Steve have
mm.
been there. Then, and can you tell us a little bit about the environment
Ooh.
and
Yes.
there in Palm Village, what do uh like the people do and practice there? Can you like share with us a little bit about Palm
I've been to
Village?
Plum Village, which is in France, and there are about, I would say maybe 100
Mm.
monks and nuns, maybe even more, that are living there. It's a monastic setting. It's a monastery, and they have 3 or 4 different like hamlets, like little villages that you can walk to or easier drive to, but within distance of each other.
Mm.
The nuns are in different places. It's very beautiful. It's done in Vietnamese style. It's a very beautiful place. But what you notice is about is it's an incredibly happy and joyous place, because everybody who is in the monastery, are always practicing together. So even there's gentle conversation, there's life goes on, cooking food. In the Plum Village tradition, Thich Nhat Hanh, they eat in the evening as well, and they talk. And during the retreats, they sing. They even have some dancing. They have shows. People present dramas. Mm. It's a interesting thing when you're a Theravada monk and you see people singing, right? It's just something that's unexpected, but looking at this practice, there's a depth. Just because it seems to be light, people should not misunderstand this for the depth of the practice that's going on. It's keeping people in this living in the now, in being in the now. And anyone who's been on a Plum Village retreat, it's a very, very happy and joyous opportunity for people to practice. Thich Nhat Hanh says he said, he's passed away, of course, but he said, you cannot understand your happiness, you cannot understand your suffering until you understand your happiness. And when the first retreat I went to with Plum Village, Thich Nhat Hanh said over and over again, your practice during your life is to really look deeply at what makes you happy. When are those moments that you catch yourself being happy? What is that? Where is that? It sort of turned the whole thing about suffering around. And the reason for this is, of course, is because Thich Nhat Hanh and the Vietnamese people have been through incredible years of terrible suffering. Suffering became very much a way of life, and to try and turn this around and look, what is making you happy? Happiness and suffering are very much, it's another side of the same coin. And that's another very key teaching about Plum Village is you can't understand your suffering until you understand your happiness. When I was during COVID, I was so fortunate. During a very brief time, we were allowed. There was a time we had a retreat. We didn't even have to wear masks for a part of that retreat. It was before Delta had arrived. And during this retreat, it was so extraordinary to come out of our isolation, our quarantine, and be with a group of people and interacting and be dependent upon each other. It was a wonderful understanding of how we need to interbe, this idea of everyone being dependent upon each other. I'm here because of you. And that's what you really, really see in Plum Village retreats.
Thank you very much, John Steve.
Thank you so much, Somboon, for that question.
So wonderful. Actually, I have never met the most venerable Thich Nhat Hanh in person, actually, but I watched his videos in YouTube a lot, and I find it very deep teaching. Like you just explained about the suffering and happiness, and he explained in just a very simple way. So I heard about the very important of his work, talking about suffering and happiness, comparing with the mud and lotus, no mud, no lotus, or something. So that is very, very, how to say, easy to understand that. And can you give us more explanation about how the comparing or simile of the lotus and mud?
Well, this isn't just Thich Nhat Hanh, but the understanding is that without mud we can't have a lotus. Without all the suffering in life, we cannot have this happiness. That we can't have one without the other. And this is this key understanding that as we all know, as we know when we practice, is that our emotions go up and down, and some days we're happy, but we notice them and know that these emotions are not permanent. Nothing is permanent. We always want to be happy as much as we can. It's just the way we are as humans. We want to be happy, but we can't always be happy. That suffering also always exists, and this suffering allows us to be happy, and this happiness allows us to suffer. Because when we're happy, and then all of a sudden we're suffering because we're not happy. So this is a very key truth: is that you can't have one without the other. Because of this, then we have that. I'm when we return Sonethavy, I'd like you to talk about Thich Nhat Hanh in Chiang Mai. Thich Nhat Hanh has a very
Yes.
deep connection to Chiang Mai, and you tell me more about that.
Oh, okay. I'm personally also never met Master Thich Nhat Hanh, you know, but I saw some pictures that around 15 years ago, I'm not sure, he was in Chiang Mai because of the invitation of our MCU, right? He also come to give a talk and uh, give some lecture, for the Palm Village and also people in Chiang Mai. And one place that my abbot he shared with me, he said that if he went to Chiang Mai, he will go to Wat Palat because he was at Wat Palat for around 3 months during he left at that time that he left Vietnam and stayed as a refugee or migrants, people in Chiang Mai, and boy went to France. Uh, Hello, Ajahn. Uh, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, because my internet it's weak right now, so that's why it's delay. Okay, uh, he returned back around last 15 years ago, and he come up here at Wat Palat where I live right now, and he also brought his uh, uh, choreography, peace in oneself, peace in the world, uh, for Wat Palat, and that's one of the uh, very high value gifts from him. Uh, and l- few days ago, Ajahn Steve and with his group, he run some activities for memorial to the Master Thich Nhat Hanh, and
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
I think
maybe I'll
yes,
stop here.
yes, problem with the internet.
We
Uh-huh.
had
Internet
a
is weak,
Memorial
maybe.
Day.
Uh-huh.
Walk up to Prasomsi's temple up at Wat Palat, where Thich Nhat Hanh had lived in, I think, 1973 and 74 before he moved to France. And another thing that happened in Chiang Mai was he came to the Buddhist University, he came to Wat Suan Dok, and he gave a Dharma talk there. That was in, I think, 2007, 2006, 2007. And that's when that's when I met all the people the wonderful people at the Buddhist University.
Okay, so it means that from that time, right? Since that you came to teach at the MCU, right, and Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to thank the most valuable Thich Nhat Hanh very much that he sent you to teach at the university or Buddhist University. Okay.
Mother. Thank you.
Okay, and actually, this is quite unluckily okay for me because at the time I was in India. Okay, yeah, I was in India. I missed the chance. Okay, I missed the chance to meet the great person. Okay, the great person, the influential person, the Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay, and actually the the, the topic that you talks now about happiness now, happiness and suffer. I think that many places when he gave a lecture, okay, about this his teaching. I think he always talk about his happiness and suffer, support each other, right? They inter inter are right. They inter are happiness and suffer, have happiness and suffer. This is our real life now. Sometime, okay, I think maybe we can apply. Okay, we can apply his teaching to our the daily life. Okay, now because sometimes someone always think that oh I'm suffer like that, okay, because especially at this time but Steve, when you watch the news or when you follow the news, you will find that many people they are suffer and maybe they commit the suicide or maybe they hurt themselves or whatever. Okay, these kind of things now. Uh, if I think maybe if they understand, okay, the did not hand teaching, okay, they will understand their life better, right? Because the people who are suffer, they always thinks, okay, they always thinks about their past life, right? Maybe they think about their future, right? But they don't, okay, focus on the present time, right? Their present life. Okay, if they focus on their like Titnan say that, okay, you when you face a problem, okay, you have to go back to your breathing, right? You have to go to your breathing. It means that you have to be here and now, because not the future. Okay, oh, how can I survive now in the future because of COVID-19, or I used to be successful, I used to be rich now, but right now I have nothing or something like that. So the people are suffer like that, okay? But if you think, okay, here and now, okay, focus on your breathing. I think Titan Han said that if you have mindfulness, okay, if you have mindfulness, you will find a way out, okay, you find the solution. But if your mind is not clear, not clean, I think maybe you don't know how to solve the problem. I think this is really important that we can apply to our life. Okay, because uh, the way that the people they react, okay, they react themselves to the problem. I think they will be successful or not, okay, maybe I think maybe depending on the way that they respond to the suffering, right now. But if they think that, okay, sufferings now is thing that we don't want, okay, we, yeah, of course now no one want to have suffering, but we have to understand, right, the nature, okay. Now we have to dhamma. What is dhamma? Dhamma is the nature, right? Understand the nature, because everyone, okay, everyone will face the problem, or we have the suffering, right? But when we have suffering, how can we react, right? How can we uh, behave ourselves, okay, to the suffering. Okay, อาจารย์สอนตอนนี้I think your internet is okay right now, right?
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn Samran, for sharing us and explanation more about the important teaching of Thich Nhat Hanh. And actually, I also learned a lot from him, and actually throughout his teaching on online on YouTube, and especially the on the topic of mindfulness practice, and he explained in the very simple ways of how can we practice mindfulness. especially I really like the way that he compare the walking mindfulness on walking. And actually, so I really understand how how can we really be mindful with our walking, simply what we are practicing at the university. And I've learned from the many different retreat, and actually it's about the walking very slow and aware of the movement. And that helpful in a level. But when I listened to the teaching from Jisna Han, he on his teaching about the mindful walking. And actually he said that we walk as we are kissing on the floor. It's like your feet is kissing on the earth. That's a, we can really feel how our feet is touching and like kissing on the floor. So that's very help to understand explain very in a very easy way. And when you take a breathing in and breathing out, and how can we really focus or be with the present moment with the breath, he compare it's like a runway and the plane. It's like your mindful is like always the plane is always on the runway. But when your mind wanders, like the plane is take off or something. So that's why the real mindfulness, you have to always that the plane never take off. That is very the very easy way the comparison and simulate, and how he trying to describe in a very how to say difficult teaching to understand in Buddhism in a very easy way. So do you have any other teaching that's very touching? There's many different of his like, important teaching. To me, I think no lotus and suffering and happiness is not separated. I think that is very touching to me. Then do you have any other important teaching from him that you have learned and to share with us here?
And when Thich Nhat Hanh died, many of us posted the saying, "A cloud never dies."
Hmm.
And the view of death in this practice is that there is nothing that dies. There's nothing that dies. That it just transitions. A cloud never
Hmm.
dies. A cloud becomes rain. The rain, then the rain goes down to the stream. The stream evaporates and becomes a cloud again, maybe. Or everything, there's nothing is made and nothing is destroyed. And that view about death, um, Thich Nhat Hanh knew he was going to die, and I was very fortunate to go to his last retreat in Plum Village, which was about 5 years ago. And the title of the retreat was "What Happens When You Die?" And when we arrived, the title of the retreat was "What Happens When You Are Alive?" And it's the idea that, nothing ever really dies. It transforms into something else. And in the very deepest way, in a Zen way, Thich Nhat Hanh is Zen Buddhist, is that there's no life without death and no death without life, and both of these things really exist in ways that are very difficult for us to understand. And then I thought it was an extremely comforting view as Thich Nhat Hanh was dying, and we all knew he was dying at these last few months. Uh, that's, I think, why it colored our reaction to his death. Was it, we are very sad to lose him as he is, but we also know that he's still, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, you know, he's in all of us. That we carry his thoughts, we
Hmm.
carry his teachings, we
Hmm.
carry his ideas, and we shouldn't say that's his legacy. It's in us. And when I think about how I view the world and my own way of living, how influenced that is by him, that I think, Thich Nhat Hanh lives in me. And that is true, that when we say that these things never die, that a cloud never dies, that that we live, our parents live within us, and our children will live, that we will live in the lives of our children or the people that we have had influence on. I think that's a great teaching of Thich Nhat Hanh's that we can really take to heart, and also give us comfort. Quite recently, I had someone very close to me pass away, and I realized how much that helped me in managing my own emotions about this. Yeah.
Jan, Jan Samran, do you have any other to share with us on
Okay.
about this point?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Ajahn Steve, he talked about, okay, the crown, right? Never die, right? Now, I think that maybe uh, this uh, this verse or this phrase is quite that easy to understand, okay? Because when we finally, okay, when we think of the crown, right? The crown now, but sometimes, okay, it's separate, it dissolute, but okay, and next it will get together, like that. Okay, it's like we just transform. Okay, it just according to the Buddha teaching too. Okay, now we just transform. Okay, our body. Okay, to be. If like when we believe we talk about the rebirth, right? Now actually our life, okay, even though the body is not here, okay, but our spirit, okay, our life still, right? So uh I think the according to our human nature, okay, if someone, okay, if our beloved person depart or leave us maybe forever, okay, I think we always, okay, we all suffer a lot, okay, we always suffer a lot about this departing, okay, from our beloved person, right? And I think the did not hand also he had uh I saw the video, okay, he had the feeling, that feeling when the King Luther, right, he was assassinated, right? At that time he thought that King Luther, he was a good person, and why he was assassinated, okay. And I think maybe at that time, okay, he was about to help to solve the problem, the Vietnamese problem too, okay. But okay, he just said that I had a little angry, right? He said that, okay, and sad too, okay. So it's mean that our feeling, usually our nature, if someone, okay, if our beloved person, okay, pass away, live out forever, okay, we have this kind of feeling. But finally we have to we have to be as I would like to uh, go back to the word, like I always say that he's teaching about here and now, okay. We since uh, according to our nature, okay, if we be like this, and the teaching that I'd like to talk more, okay, that he's the person that he very very uh, famous about the talking of solving world problem, okay, solving world problem with compassion, okay, with compassion. I think the when we want to solve problem, okay, according to the Buddha teaching, okay, sometimes the like the Buddha said that anger, right? Anger never ended by anger, right? Now, okay. So hatred never have been the destroyed by hatred, like that. But with the compassion, I think with the compassion, I think this is the real. I think this is the real solution for our world. Okay, right now we in the world we have the war. Okay, that we fight to each other. Okay, but without the compassion. Okay, so if we have compassion to the others, okay, starting from our family, okay, from the one who are really close to us, and we expand, okay, we just expand our compassion, okay, to the others. I think we can help the world in the peaceful. Okay, I think this is also the way that I love, okay, about his teaching, because he said that the energy of compassion is very strong. Okay, now if you have compassion to anyone, okay, that is very very strong energy now. But the uh, uh, on the other hand, okay, but if you become angry, okay, with someone, okay, so at that time, you never, okay, I think you never solve the problems now.
Ajahn Samlan, I'd like to read a Prason and Prasamon, if you would give me the opportunity and excuse me to read a poem by Thich Nhat Hanh that really talks
Okay.
very much to what Ajahn Samlan said.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
that will be
probably
good.
in fact, this poem was something that I read when I was 25, 26, and I was so struck by the brilliance of this poem that this is really what really started me down the line with Thich Nhat Hanh. The name of the poem is please call me by my true names. Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I am still arriving. Look deeply. Every second, I am arriving to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding in a stone. I still arrive in order to laugh and to cry, to fear and to hope. The rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that is alive. I am the mayfly metamorphosing on the surface of the river, and I am the bird that swoops down to swallow the mayfly. I am the frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond. And I am the grass snake that silently feeds itself on that frog. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks. And I am the arms merchant selling deadly weapons to Uganda. I'm the 12-year-old girl, refugee on a small boat, who throws herself into the ocean after being raped by a sea pirate. And I am the pirate, my heart not yet capable of seeing and loving. I am a member of the Politburo with plenty of power in my hands, and I am the man who has to pay his debt of blood to my people dying slowly in a forced labor camp. My joy is like spring, so warm it makes flowers bloom all over the earth. My pain is like a river of tears, so vast it fills the four oceans. Please call me by my true names, so I can hear all the cries and my laughter at once, and I can see that my joy and pain are one. Please call me by my true names so I can wake up and so the door of my heart can be left open, the door of compassion. Quite a
This is
poem
the poem.
of Thich Nhat Hanh.
Wow.
Please call me by my true names.
Mhm.
And he talks about you can't have one without the other. And the poem starts out talking about the beauty of spring, and then the snake in the grass swallows the frog. We're all in this together. But he says, keep that door of compassion open.
Mm.
And I think about the Angulimala. What is the name of the
Yes, Angulimala.
Mm-hmm.
Angulimala? About
Uh-huh.
that story and about the
Mm.
compassion the Buddha showed for the mass
Mm.
murderer. And I
Mm.
think this is something that we are living now in times where people are becoming so deeply divided because people don't have compassion for people who don't believe the same thing as them. They don't understand where they're coming from, don't understand people's backgrounds. I mean, I'm guilty of this as well. But it's this understanding that we're all human in all of this. And we inter-are. That's who we are. Please call me by my true names. Thich Nhat
Mm.
Hanh,
Beautiful.
isn't it?
Mm.
Such a beautiful poem, actually.
Mhm.
I yeah, it's very touching and very deep in, you know, deep and, very touching. It's the bottom of the heart. The poem. It actually it's allowed us uh to be connected with one another. So people feel they feel like they're different or divided uh because we don't see things and actually are um interdependent, and we are um similar rather be different. I think that is very deep and very touching in actually the poem. Thank you, John Steve, for sharing us and leading for that beautiful poem.
And thank you, Thich Nhat Hanh, for writing this.
Mhm.
There's a one key word that after he passed away, and many Facebook page post this uh, his quote: "The cloud never die." Mm.
Mm,
After I heard the explanation, it's very deep. You know, we look we look to the sky right now. I see this cloud above my head. Above my head. After a while, these clouds, you know, gradually move to some place, but I can't see it. And we thought that it disappear on someone that's die. But the cloud just moved to another position, or turn into something like rain, become rain, or become fertilizer for uh, many different trees, for animals, become something else, become other things. So he's somewhere. He just changed. Yes, what do you think about this, Ajahn Samran? Before we let Ajahn
Mm.
Steve talk about it.
Yeah. Then for the phrase "the cow never die." Okay, we already discussed that. I think maybe you weren't here because of the internet. I
Oh,
think, right?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But okay. Good that you repeat that because
mhm,
I think it is
mhm,
Very
very,
important.
yeah, very important.
Mm,
Okay. Very
mm,
important. Okay. And I think that when we talk about compassion, okay, when we talk about compassion to the other, I think we have to like Nat Han. He always said he always teach about the like deep listening. Okay, deep listening. I think is the
mhm,
really important in our daily life because we maybe we don't want to listen to the other, right? Now we always think that we are right? We always, okay, I'm always right, the other is always wrong, like that, right?
You usually are always right, Achan Samran, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
So, but if you have deep listening, okay, you have to learn to listen, okay, learn to listen to the other, okay. What, how do they feel, okay? How do they feel? But according to the deep listening, we must have like a compassionate listening too, right? Compassionate listening. Okay, we listen with compassion. Okay, now if someone listen to you with compassion, so you feel that, oh, there is that one person understand me. Okay, so why, okay, why when the people they have problems now, and maybe they have they did something wrong, okay, and maybe like many especially in the COVID-19 time, I heard that, that the the toll rate of the people who committed suicide in Thailand is increased about 20%. Okay, it's the 20%
Oh.
increasing. Okay, in COVID-19 time. So I think because I think maybe no one who listened to them, right? Maybe no one understand them. Maybe they just stay in. They just stay alone. Okay, but if there is someone who understand them, okay, and listen to them, listen their problems, okay, and I think they will feel better, right? They feel better, and they will I think that at least, okay, one person, that person, the one who's sitting next to me, okay, understand me, at least I'm not alone, like that, okay. I think that we have to learn to listen, okay, that we say that deep listening. Okay. And Ajahn Steve, I also heard I think maybe according to this is the Mahayana uh, teaching. Uh, this it's quite different from Theravada. Okay, Theravada teaching about the sometime, okay, like a did not Han. He like to like a stay together, chant together, okay, chant together, stay together, do something together. That the words the word he used, like what he used about the collective, right? Collective energy,
Collective.
right? Yeah, collective energy. Yeah, so the energy that we can get it, right? Well, with the group of people together, yeah, this is collective energy. Uh, yeah. How do you think about it? Actually, according to Theravada Buddhism, yeah, the monk, they will recruit now. Okay, maybe stay in the silent place. Okay, doing meditation. Yeah, it's different, right? From uh, in Zen or Mahayana Buddhism about this. How do you think about this?
I think this is a particularly Plum Village style, Thich Nhat Hanh
Mm,
style
mm,
of the view. Thich
mm,
Nhat Hanh, we have these songs in Plum
mm,
Village, and
mm.
one of our songs
Can you
is,
sing some song?
I could, but people would just leave. I don't want to do that to you. Your listenership, you would go down. But the title of the song is "I Want to Go as a River, Not as a Drop of Water." We're all in this together, and we also, like a drop of water, we lose ourselves and gain ourselves in that river, and uh, that's how it's organized, and that's how it works in Plum Village. So um it in Plum Village, when the people ordain, they ordain as a group, and they have an ordination ceremony, and people go in as a group, and the training is done as a group, and there is a great they're always in it together.
Mhm.
The understanding is that the people will grow and understand and develop as a group. This doesn't mean there is time. People have time where they have individual practice, where and people are given things to work on, shall I say, and that is done. it's not like they're always together, although they're together an incredible amount of time. And
Mhm.
the idea there also is that, we don't divide our lives between our Buddhist practice time and just like, kind of getting food on the table and those sorts of, our everyday domestic activities. Wherever we are, that this is the time to practice. The practice is always available to us. And when we go through the day, we make attempts to go through the day mindfully, aware of what we're doing while we're doing it. The famous Thich Nhat Hanh saying is, when you're washing the plate, I wash the plate like I'm washing the butt actually of the baby Buddha, right?
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
take mindfulness into every day, into all of our tasks.
Hmm.
And when you do it, and you see other people doing it, it's like these mirrors that we're all involved in this together and all doing a similar practice. So it's not looked as an isolated practice of us and other people. Everyone may be trying to do the same thing, but individually, it isn't like that. We're all in this together, and we're going as a river, and that's how things do go. You
Mhm.
just go along with everybody else, and you just do it. They also, it's very interesting. I was very surprised to see in Thailand that people have individual kutis.
Mhm.
People live, monks live in their own rooms, and
Mhm.
I realize that's because we don't have as many monks as we used to. But do you remember in Wat Phai Hin in the old days when they had these huge dorms? Remember,
Mhm.
someone
Yes.
in Wat Phai Hin? Well, we don't see things like that anymore, right? Everyone has their
Yeah.
individual room, and in Plum Village, there people aren't really allowed to have their own rooms. Everybody
Mhm.
has a roommate, and then every
Mhm.
3 or 4 months they switch roommates, so
Mhm.
everybody will get to know each other
Mhm.
and deal with each other. Not just you only want to stay with the people that you like,
Mhm.
be
Mhm.
with people that may not be your soulmates, that you may not get along with them. And then with this interaction, you learn deep listening and how
Mhm.
to get along. It's all
Mhm.
part of the style of being a monastic at Plum Village. It's not always easy for people, but that's the way they do it. Going as a river, not as a drop of water.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's so different. It's so different in the approach. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, please, Venerable Somboon. You have
Okay.
any more question, or
Mm.
maybe our viewers? We also welcome some question in the end of our session. If you have any question that you would like to uh, keep exchange, please you can write down the comments down below, and we can share in the panel. You know, sorry. Let me read some of comments. There are some of our students. There are some of our uh, graduate student. Okay. Hello to Kamun. So
Oh,
Mr. Kamun, I used to study English with him when I was in Laos.
what
Yes.
a good
He's
teacher he is, nah?
yes. Spidey, Ajahn Steve, and all the speakers. Very nice.
Thank you.
And Monk Kambai Mindfulness. Good evening to venerables and laymen listening from Laos. Yay! Monks from
Sabaydi.
Laos. Spidey. Kanjo, Mr. Ram. Uh,
Kancho,
Mhm.
namaste.
and Nang. I thought that this is from Chan State or from Thailand. Uh,
Yeah, it should
and
be sincere.
Bun Hyung. Bun Hyung Sayasang. Good evening, Ajahn Steve and Ajahn Samran. I thought he is
Mhm.
loud too.
Mhm.
Yes, he
and
was in our second
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
sorry,
He
this.
he was in the our second year, our second program that came through, English program.
Oh,
Mhm.
Mm,
okay.
mm,
And Pratamasiri, Patamatiri. Good evening, all venerables and teachers. Great to listening to you all. Oh, Kanjo from Everest. What's that?
It's
Lovely.
his restaurant.
Oh, okay, he's
Excellent
promoting his
food at
restaurant.
Everest Momo. Excellent.
Okay, thank you so much for all comments. You are so nice to
And advertisements.
have to have an
They can have
have an
advertisement.
interaction. Yes, I'm feel very glad to hear from Ajahn Steve that he have been real experience with the Palm Village and share today. I also have a plan to do it before it, but not a good time yet. So today, I think it's a great time that we get together here, talk about something concerned to our master, our beloved teachers, especially his teaching, his uh, lesson that he left uh, for this world. All right. Okay. Question from Mang Dharmatiri. What is the most different teaching of Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh and others Mahayana meditation teachings? Ajahn Steve, specifically Ajahn Steve.
Oh, okay, Damatidi. I'm
You
gonna
are
answer
so
this. And you
famous
have to
today.
we're going on the final
Yeah,
exam.
Ajahn,
So yeah,
Ajahn Steve, Ajahn Steve. Yeah. So, so I think you should give him some score. Okay. Now,
yes.
don't be a student.
Damatiri, you're asking about how the important distinction between the Mahayana teaching and the Theravada teaching, and I think probably this idea of us all going through it together. We're all going through it as a river. We're all completely interconnected. We have this view in Theravada Buddhism also. It's there. It's just it's much more important in the Mahayana view. And there's also, of course, the understanding of the bodhisattva, a
Mhm.
bodhisattva vow, which people will take, that if they manage to go to heaven or nirvana, they'll come back and they'll become a teachers and they will help everybody else. And they're not going to go to heaven until everyone, all beings in all places and all times go. And that's the bodhisattva vow, which is the vow behind that is taken because of this notion of we're all in this together. We're all going as a river. But I think that would be, I consider, the key difference there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good question,
Okay. Maybe
Damatiri.
I'd like to add it more. Okay.
Yes, please.
From Ajahn Steve. Okay. According to Theravada, okay, Theravada Buddhism, maybe not only the meditation on the meditation teaching, but I think that Theravada we just uh, follow. Okay, we just focus on the form. Okay, the form and the for example, for Vinaya, right? Theravada will the keep all precepts, right? 227 precepts now. So it means that whatever the attribute, whatever the said by the Buddha, okay, the Theravada Buddhist monks, okay, they follow all that. But for Mahayana, okay, for Mahayana Buddhism, okay, they just first now maybe they will think about the others, okay, help the others, and then you will help yourself, right? Help the other first now, and for the way to like doing meditation, right? Doing meditation for uh, like Ajahn Steve said that it for the target, I think maybe the target or the goals of practicing meditation is the same, but the way to practice the meditation, it seemed like okay, it seemed like a Theravada with Buddhism, like you have to you have to be like isolated, okay, when you do meditation, because if you be isolated, maybe it's easier, right, to train yourself to be calm easily like that, okay. But for Mahayana Buddhism, like once Thich Nhat Hanh was asked the question, okay, how do you practice meditation? Do you practice meditation every day? He answered, okay, he answered that I do meditation every moment. Okay, I do I do meditation every moment. Every moment is mean that whatever you do, okay, wherever you are, okay, you can do meditation. Even though like you when you are watering, okay, for trees or whatever, okay, that at that time also you do meditation. But according to even though I think this is the same like Theravada Buddhism too, of the when they practice meditation, actually we should do like that. But we always think that okay, meditations now we have to sit, right? We have to sit, we have to close our eye, and we have to like doing walking meditation, sitting meditation, or something like that. But in fact, even though the Theravada Buddhism also practicing meditation, you have to do it every moment, okay, every moment. But it's not it's like it's not clear teaching like a Theravada like a Mahayana, okay. Now Mahayana said okay, you can do meditation whatever you do, okay, like that. Okay, this is right, Ajahn Steve.
I think exactly, Ashan Samran. It isn't like the Mahayana teachings are so dramatically different. Is we
Mm,
the Theravada teachings like they have the dependent, codependent origination. I mean, that's what
mm,
interbeing is. That's where it
mm,
comes from.
mm,
These teachings are there. It
mm,
isn't that Theravada doesn't have them. It's just this strong emphasis upon
mm,
what becomes most important in
mm,
Mahayana practice. That's they've taken things that are already there. When Thich Nhat Hanh came to Thailand and was giving his president's talks and was doing some of the practices, people often asked, "Oh, this," he said, "Oh, it's just like Theravada. How is it any different than Theravada Buddhism?" Because, well, there Mahayana Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism is at the heart of it. There, it's right there. It didn't come from it. It didn't come from an independent spring. That's where it came from. So, I mean, it is there. It's just a different way of looking at things, huh?
mm,
And you also have to remember culture, right? I mean, you it came out of a Vietnamese background. When in
mm,
Vietnam, it's been very influenced by China. So
mm,
yeah, you just have to look at how it is and where it came from, and you can really see why why it looks like that.
mm,
Taoism. Taoism is very influential in Mahayana Buddhism. Ugh, that's an
oh,
entire
mm.
topic unto itself. Prasamla.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So another another comments to for Agent Steve. Agent Steve,
Oh,
how are you? How are you, Agent Steve?
Siri.
I am
Congratulations on
Kim
your
Myanmar.
children.
Siri from Myanmar. So you're a student, and I'm missing both Ajan. Thank you. And Monk Pirapon. Good evening, teachers. He's like a enter classroom. Good evening, teachers. Just
It's a
kidding.
good morning. It's a good evening class.
Okay, now we have been talking, have been discussing for 1 hour and 25 minutes. Such a long talking, right? So, uh, last and final, um, give a short time for each speaker speak something, left some speech for our viewers. Okay, start from Venerable Somboon first. Somboon. Can you speak something for summarize today?
I personally take uh, the most venerable Tisnahan as one of the uh, my role model of monk actually. And I think he inspired me a lot. The way that I practice, especially meditation and the practice of mindfulness, and also apply his technique and practice myself, and also um, um, tell share with the other people. I'm sometimes help the monk chat to run the meditation program, and I sometimes also talking about his technique of practicing meditation, and I think
Mhm.
to me I think he's just compassionate senior monk, and I very respect and admire his work and his what he have done, his good deed and his devotion to Buddhism. I think this is very touching to me, and how much he devote his life to uh, mankind actually, and that is I I would like to uh, take he's one of my role model, as the guy, leading and following his path. Thank you.
Very nice. Yes, again, Dr. Samran, would you love to left some speech?
Yeah, I like to repeat. Okay, I like to repeat his words now that but Steve now he mentioned and Prason also he repeat that again. Uh, I'd like to say that did not Han never die. Okay, did not Han never die.
Mhm.
He's still okay. He's still in our heart. Okay, and I think he's teaching. Okay, like our Buddha teaching, the Lord Buddha teaching, also still in our heart. I think especially the one who think that Dhamma is difficult. If you understand, okay, the Dhamma Han teaching, you will find that Dhamma is not difficult to understand. Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm. Very nice. Yes, Ajahn Steve.
Thank you so much, Prason, for inviting me. It's so wonderful to see you and Prason Boon, and always a pleasure to see you, Dr. Achan, who Samran, who I met decades ago when you took me on a tour of what MCU before I knew anything. Right? Thank you so much. Um, I think one thing we can take away from this is that um, when the Dalai Lama was kicked out of China, he came to his teachings flourished around the world. And when Thich Nhat Hanh was kicked out of Vietnam, his
Hmm.
teachings have flourished around the world.
So
These
you,
teachings are alive and they're vital. And they've taken new forms when they've come to the West. And they've developed a vitality, a dynamism all of their own. The Buddhist teachings are strong and powerful, and they go beyond culture. And I think this is what we can take away from Thich Nhat Hanh and from the Dalai Lama, is that how important these teachings are, and how they develop our hearts. They come in through here. And I am eternally grateful for having encountered Thich Nhat Hanh many, many years ago. Definitely changed the pathway of my life. Really changed how I've lived. And thank you so much, Thich Nhat Hanh, for that. And I know that he's touched millions, literally millions of lives. So,
Mm,
thank you so much,
beautiful.
Praso, for organizing all of this. And thank you so much for your help in helping us organize our day of mindfulness at beautiful Wat Palat, with just such a beautiful temple. Thank you so very, very
Yeah,
much.
you're
Very blessed.
yes, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. And I'm also really sorry the first first session that we have been talking, I'm stuck alone in my room because of my internet is weak, and I'm out of date. some topic already have mentioned, and I have to repeat it again. Um, anyway, I personally have read his, um, this book also inspired me, like Miracle of Awakening. You know, I have
Mm.
read in Thai version, and it's very interesting. He tell through small stories in in daily life, like through message, through small story, and it's such a wonderful things that as Ajahn Samran said, it make it digest is to be piece, small piece, the piece of cake that easy to eat, sometimes we speak like this
Mm.
full set of dhamma, it's difficult to eat, it's big cake, and Thich Nhat Hanh, he have that skill to how to cut it nicely, dress it, and easy to eat. Does it make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay. Yes,
Wonderful
and
example,
that's
Prasan.
why all the practitioners in the whole world really like his teaching, and he's a thinker, he's a writer, he's a meditation master, he's the artist, very beautiful his uh, choreography. Yes, and if anyone would love to see his choreography, please come to Wat Palat. This one one of uh, thousand is here at Wat Palat. Yes, so I feel touched with that. Okay, finally we got last question, but I think we will postpone this question to our next Facebook Live to become our main topic in the future, in a further Facebook Live about the between Mahayana and Theravada. We
Mm.
will do it again. Okay,
That
mention
interesting
deeply.
topic.
Yes, yes. All right. 1 hour and 33 minutes. It's such a wonderful time that we are being here together. We have time to meet our ex students, our former students. There are many of them, uh, uh, you know, remember, get come back here to keep, good memory together here. Uh, so I'm on behalf of our discussion, our Dhamma talk today, to become a merit that we, deliver the Dhamma, become a merit, and also share and dedicate to our masters, and share to all the people in the whole world, protect uh, ours and protect the others and protect people in the whole world. And I also personally thanks to Steve, Dr. Samran, to dedicate your time 1.5 hours here.
My
Uh,
pleasure.
it's such a wonderful sharing. Thank you so much.
Okay,
And
welcome.
Venerable Somboon, thank you for your time too to become a
Okay,
second moderator
you.
when I'm not ready. Yes, I think we'll be. I would love to say good night. Yeah, at last. Yes. Have a good dream, everyone, and all the speakers. Goodbye.
Okay,
Sadhu.
namaskar.
Sadhu. Thank you so much, Prasan.
Thank you.
Okay, that's Steve. The time to